What if I told you that Transformers 1, the movie no one expected much from, actually delivers one of the most emotional stories in the entire franchise? Forget what you saw in the trailers. This isn't the kiddie cartoon you thought it would be. We're talking heart, high-stakes action, and a Megatron origin story that might actually break your heart.
Okay, so he's a little intense.
Yeah, just a little.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the world of Cybertron with the latest installment in the Transformers franchise, Transformers 1. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I saw those trailers, I was seriously underwhelmed. It looked like a step backward, especially after Michael Bay's explosive, love it or hate it style. But here's the kicker. This movie turned out better than I expected. So, buckle up, because we're about to break down what worked, what didn't, and why Transformers 1 might surprise even the most skeptical fans. Let's roll out.
You need to move out of my way before I move you myself.
The missing Michael Bay factor. Let's address the elephant, or rather the explosion in the room. Michael Bay. Love him or hate him, his stamp on the Transformers franchise is unmistakable. When Transformers 1 kicked off, you could immediately feel his absence. The visual fireworks, the chaotic energy, the sheer over-the-top madness, gone. In its place, director Josh Cooley, yes, the guy behind Toy Story 4, brings a more subdued, almost committee-driven vibe. At first, I thought this was going to be a disaster, but stay with me. Once the movie gets going, you realize Cooley's approach has its own merits. The Econ 5000, a visual spectacle. Now, let's talk about one of the standout moments, the Icon 5000 race. This sequence with Orion Pax, voiced by Chris Hemsworth, and D16, voiced by Brian Tyree Henry, took me by surprise. It felt like Speed Racer on steroids. The track is constantly shifting, the stakes feel real, and the animation is just gorgeous. The race itself is a predictable setup, but the emotional tension between these two characters? It's palpable. You feel their rivalry, their camaraderie, and even though they're robots, there's something very human about their dynamic. It's a great nod to what's coming between Optimus Prime and Megatron later on. And let's be real, watching this on an IMAX screen? Chef's kiss. The 3D visuals pop, the action is fluid, and while it's not as chaotic as Bay's style, it still packs a punch. Megatron's origin, the real heart of the film. Now here's where the movie took me by surprise, in a good way. Transformers. One actually gives us a Megatron origin story worth caring about. Yes, you heard that right. In Bay's movies, Megatron was just a one-note villain, evil, angry, blow things up. But here, D16's transformation into Megatron is slow, nuanced, and shockingly emotional. Cooley gives Megatron depth. His path to becoming a villain makes sense, and you actually feel for the guy. The friendship between Orion Pax and D16 is central to the movie's emotional weight, making Megatron's descent into darkness all the more gut-wrenching. There's one scene, without giving too much away, that hits hard. You see the two bots meet for the first time in a flashback, and it almost feels like watching a best friend slowly spiral out of control. You know there's no saving him, and it's heartbreaking. Optimus Prime's moment and supporting cast struggles. Let's not forget about Optimus Prime. Chris Hemsworth brings a fresh, youthful energy to Orion Pax. While no one will ever replace Peter Cullen's iconic voice, Hemsworth does a solid job portraying a younger, more optimistic version of Optimus before he takes on the matrix of leadership. The moment where he officially becomes Optimus Prime? That's a crowd pleaser for sure, and it'll have longtime fans smiling ear to ear. But I've got to be honest, the supporting characters are a mixed bag. B-127, voiced by Keegan-Michael Key, is supposed to bring some comic relief, but honestly, he falls flat. The jokes just don't land, and by the end, I was rolling my eyes more than laughing. Then there's a lighter one, Scarlett Johansson. She's got star power behind her, but her character doesn't really have much to do, which is a shame. Action, story, and what comes next. Now, action fans, don't worry. While Transformers 1 is more story-driven, it's not lacking in the action department. There are some jaw-dropping sequences, especially toward the climax. Cooley keeps things exciting with a good balance between intense action and deeper emotional moments. But the villain plot twist? Yeah, saw that coming a mile away. It doesn't hit as hard as it should, but by then, you're invested enough in the main characters that it doesn't really matter. And hey, if you've enjoyed this review so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out, and I've got plenty more reviews, breakdowns, and geeky content coming your way. So, where does Transformers 1 land? It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than I thought it would be. Cooley manages to balance kid-friendly fun with darker, more mature themes, giving us a Megatron origin story that's actually compelling. Sure, there are missteps, mainly with the supporting characters and predictable plot points, but the core story of Orion Pax and D16 makes this one worth watching. If you're a die-hard fan of Bay's Transformers, you might miss the Explosion Fest. But if you're open to something a little more heartfelt, Transformers 1 delivers. And hey, if they make another one, I'm definitely on board, especially if Bay takes the reins for that Transformers G.I. Joe crossover. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the movie, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till all are one.